Hello again on Tuesday, October the 15th. I just did my Bobcat in a Box, Bobcat Palooza, whatever I called it, is uploading now. And it's Halloween. I've got my Halloween decorations video posted. And so I thought maybe to celebrate October and Halloween and the scary season, my friend over at Hobbs Horror, who I will link below, he suggested doing a video about, because I made a comment on his video the other day, Better Watch Out. He got it from Family Video. That's what he was doing. He got it from his local Family Video. And he suggested me doing, because I've never went through my collection of movies over there. I don't have all of my movies out, but I do have movies over there. That's why I have this in my hand at the moment, so that I can. All of those up top are all of my horror movies. I've got that might be action movies. I don't know, TV shows, blah, blah, blah. I have more movies in those tubs. I have VHSs in those. And in the other room, I have, actually in those two boxes there. Well, at least that box. I know there's some movies in that box. There might be some movies in that. I don't know. I'm going to set you over here for now. And then I'm going to disappear in a minute. Oh, I should start this. I was going to start, because I don't know how long. I noticed I have 17 days left of October in which I can take some of my movies, go through my movie collection, show you what I have, maybe tell you a little bit about the movie if I know it. I've bought a lot of movies, I have not watched a lot of movies. That's my problem, is I buy movies because they look good or whatever, or they have a flashy cover. Better Watch Out. I did actually watch that one though. I don't know if it's in this first group, because that just all looks like DVDs. I don't know. But I'm going to grab at least half of the first stack. I don't know how many movies a day I want to do. I don't want to overload or anything, because as you saw, I have a lot of movies, and like I said, I have others hiding elsewhere, but I thought maybe I'd take a couple a day, or maybe half a stack every day, depending on how many's up there, because there's movies behind those movies. But let me go grab the first half of the stack while you sit here and watch a whole lot of nothing, and probably me knocking shit over. We'll take it from there, and then we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know, like I said, if I'll do this once a day, or how exactly it is that I will do this. But I've grabbed my stack here, so these are the movies that I'm going to talk about today that are in my collection. And they're very dusty. I never dust. But the first one on top is 13 Ghosts. It was a remake. It has a sales slip in the back of it. Apparently I bought this in 2010. So, cover up my... Yeah, I even have the slip back here. I know this was a remake, and I did like the remake. I am somewhat sadistic. This has a scene that everybody always talks about with the glass door. Oh my god. I'm killing things. But yeah, so I like this movie, because I like... If a movie entertains me, like, it doesn't have to be Citizen Kane. Like, everything, that's fucking boring. Like, one movie I do not have in my horror movie collection, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want to listen to me after I say this, you can turn off the video, I don't care. I do not have The Shining. That shit is boring. Okay? I tried to watch it. That shit is fucking boring. Like, it's supposed to be one of the greatest horror movies of all time. The Exorcist. I don't have The Exorcist in my collection. Because, I tried to watch that shit, and it's boring. I get, well, with The Exorcist, I feel like I'd seen it spoofed so many times that I kind of like knew everything. Like there wasn't anything to surprise me because I knew. I mean, what was that, Repossessed or whatever? Like there's a a spoof movie out about it. But so I like movies that entertain me, and The Shining and The Exorcist, neither one of those movies are of interest to me. But 13 Ghosts was. I enjoyed it. It wasn't really what I would consider like my favorite of horror movies, but I know that it was good for a watch, basically, is kind of what I like to say. And there is the scene with the glass door, so it's worth a watch just for that. Because I'm a sadistic son of a bitch. I don't know if Ghost Ship is in my collection, but the opening scene of Ghost Ship. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're sadistic. It's okay. I have here Kane Encino Evil. I feel like they've made 2 or 3 of these. I know I watched this, and I may have watched it even though I may have watched it from what I bought, or it may have been a movie that I enjoyed, and that's why I bought it. I don't really recall. I don't really remember this, but I own it. So there you go. That's going to be the problem too with a lot of these. Now this one is. I feel like this is. Oh shit! What is the name of that? I know what this is. This is Skinless Productions. I have not watched this. I know I have not watched this. Special edition DVD. It has the movies, I think they're all shorts, Black Lung Sam, Trooper, and Confessions of a Drowning Mind. This I feel like is from a local... because I watched Savage Harvest. I watched it on Netflix, and one of the girls in that movie, it's very low budget, it's very locally made, home-sourced movie, you can tell, and I could swear that her t-shirt was for a restaurant in Missouri. And I looked up the company that I can't think of right now. Oh my god. Wicked Pixel Cinema, and they're based out of St. Louis. And I'm like, oh, there's been this horror movie company in my home state this entire time, and I had no idea. No idea. There may be some in Kansas City, I don't know. But Wicked Pixel Cinema is based out of St. Louis. And I feel like this is one of their DVDs. I bought it. Sometimes they would have sales. I actually have one of their a lot of their stuff is out of print. This is probably out of print now. But I have not watched this. Black Lung Sam says, a modern western about a girl who will stop at nothing to get back at the crooks that held her up for ransom. Black Lung Sam was shot for the 48-hour film challenge at the Cinemerge Film Festival and took first place. So that's cool. Trooper Cameron Kyle Wallen is having a hard time coming to terms with his recent breakup with Gwen, Meredith Thacker, and the betrayal of his friend Trey, Zach Eubank. Can his roommate Chad, Ben Bloss, help him, or is it already too late? Nobody knows. Confessions of a Drowning Mind. It has been several years since the death of Joseph, Sam Eubank's sister, but the impact of her loss is stronger now than ever before. Take a trip into the mind of troubled youth in this dark and scary mind trip. Winner of the Director's Choice Award, Cinemerge Film Festival 2005, and the Rising Star Award for Sam Eubank's performance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was from Wicked Pixel Cinema. I don't see it say Wicked Pixel Cinema anywhere on here, and none of those names sound familiar, but that could have been in their earlier days. Because there's been they've made 2 Savage Harvest movies. I can't think of the guy's name either. Because there's a couple of them that I think I don't think they make movies as much anymore, but they do make movies every once in a while. They have a fairly new one out that I haven't had a chance to check out, but yeah. So I want to say this is from Wicked Pixel Cinema. It's some of their shorts, maybe before Wicked Pixel Cinema was even a thing. Maybe it's just this is how they got their start. I don't know, hey, look here, Savage Harvest. I was just talking about that. Where is his name? Eric Stans. There he is. I knew there was, he's one of the main guys from Wicked Pixel. And see, if they signed it for me, special collector's edition, because, I enjoyed the movie. I don't really think that the second one was as good as the first one, because boom, Savage Harvest 2, signed and everything. Ta-da! Jason Christ. He's the other one that is pretty big on Wicked Pixel Cinema, or at least in the later years. So this is, like I said, I found these on Netflix. I found this one on Netflix, Savage, the first one, and I'm pretty sure I watched the second one. But I don't remember it as much. I would say the first Savage Harvest, it's like I said, it's very low budget, it's very locally made horror, but I mean, sometimes, I don't mind that so much. Sometimes that can add to, I feel that can add to the creep factor of it, like the one, it's in there somewhere. I know it's in there somewhere. And I feel like if I keep talking, it's going to pop out of my mouth, but it's not. Tourist Trap. There it is. Tourist Trap. There's a scene at the beginning of that where like this head flies across, and it looks so fake that you almost think it has to be real. You know what I mean? Like it's just so ridiculous. This like floating head thing that like flies across the room or whatever. You're like, it just looks so fake that you feel like it has to be real. And I remember, I was at least interested. I was invested in the characters of this one, and then of course I found out it was from Missouri, and I'm like, badass, So this is from my local horror movie, company, and I know I had to have watched Savage Harvest 2, but I do not remember it. I need to rewatch it and remind myself. And it's even a 2-disc special edition of Savage Harvest. So Savage Harvest and Savage Harvest 2 are the next ones in my collection. And of course, everything's dusty. Zombieland. The second one's coming out this week, isn't it? Something like that, maybe? Of course, I was late to the party. I kind of knew some of the stuff that came up in this, special appearances, cameos, kind of were already ruined for me. So I probably need to go see the second Zombieland right away before that happens again. It's been what year was this movie made? 2009, 2010. Sorry, I haven't stopped. So, I mean, it's been quite a few years since... Didn't they tried to do a Zombieland TV series on Amazon? Was it supposed to be the same characters or no? Or just in the same universe? I don't know. But, of course, once I watched it, it's, I loved it. There's comedy, there's horror, there's a lot of different things, to this movie. So, and there's action, there's suspense, there's a lot of everything in this movie. So, of course, Zombieland, of course. This is a movie that always used to pop up when I was over at my friend's house. They played it over and over and over again on the cable channels, on the HBO and stuff. But I enjoyed it. The Craft. I enjoy this movie very much. She is a crazy fucking bitch. I love it. I actually designed a character in one of my stories after Nancy's, Fairuza Balk. A very different role than Dorothy in Return to Oz, but fucking Mombi with her goddamn wall of heads. Oh my god. You see, here they are on the back, all of them. Jesus. But I've watched the movie plenty of times. I didn't have to open it. And I actually, there are deleted scenes. Deleted scenes with additional optional commentary. I know I have seen the deleted scenes, and some of them I kind of wish that they'd left in there, because they gave you a little bit more. Like, there's this one where Nancy's like flipping out and like, because Sarah's the new girl, but she's yelling at her two friends, and it's like, I guess maybe that was supposed to be the audience. Like, why would they even hang out with this crazy person? She wasn't crazy to begin with. I mean, she got there, and it's a great performance by Fairuza Balk in this movie. Great, especially the later half of the movie. And I understand, some of the actual witchcraft people were not happy with this movie, because it does get a little bit special effects heavy at the end. So I guess I can kind of understand, where it's like, I guess it's kind of, it's a more dramatic story until like sort of toward the end, and then they decided to have like this action sequence, and maybe it's a little bit weird, but it's also badass. So I'm okay with it. I'm more than okay with it. But yeah, I watched this movie multiple times, and now I have it on Blu-ray. Is this Blu-ray DVD or just Blu-ray? I think it's just Blu-ray. I don't know, probably, but it's Blu-ray. So, but yes, this is definitely a fun little movie to watch. This is one I bought. I may have heard about this movie, The Breed, but I have not watched it. As you can tell, it is still in the plastic. I have not watched this one. It may or may not have poop on it. I don't know what that is. Dust poop. It stars Michelle Rodriguez and Taryn Manning. I can't really tell you much about this movie, but apparently and it's shiny. See, the cover is shiny. That's very distracting for me. The back is also very shiny. I feel like I may have heard about this movie, and I wanted to see it, so I bought it, and or it sounded interesting, and I bought it, but I haven't watched it since. And it says October 2009 is the label here. So I've had this one for a while, and I have not watched it or opened it. So I can't tell you much about it, but I have it. Other than I have it. Here's another one. It also has poop on it. What's wrong with my movies? The Ghouls. Again, a movie I have not seen. It's still in the plastic. I don't know. A city is forced to face its worst nightmare when a deadly mob of zombies and flesh-eating monsters emerge from below the streets and begin to feast on anyone in their path. Now it's up to one man to battle the darkness and try to save the few remaining souls. So, I don't know. Haven't seen this one. Apparently someday I intended to watch it. Now, this is a movie I have seen specifically because of one of the actresses in it. This is the only reason I know this, probably the only reason I know this movie exists, the only reason I bought this movie, the only reason I watched this movie. But that's okay. Hysterical Psycho. Psychos have all the fun. They do. And let's see. There she is, right there. Charissa Shamaro. I don't think that actually happens to her in the movie, though. I don't remember her being covered in blood. But she was on, I watch soap operas. I don't just watch horror movies. I'm well-rounded of the world, so to speak. And she was on One Life to Live, and she was one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite actresses. But then she got booted, so... But I tried to follow what few things in her career that she did since being on One Life to Live. And this was one of the movies that she was in, Hysterical Psycho. It's kind of an odd movie, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute since I've watched it. there is some humor, there is some horror, there is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's another one of those that I would say is worth a watch, definitely. Not just for Sharisa, but I think, is it in black and white, or is it part of it in black and white, maybe? I can't remember. Follow Strange Lenny and his merry band of misfits as they take a trip to the woods of Maine to visit the mysterious Moon Lake. Unbeknownst to them, Moon Lake is one big hotbed of lunar radiation that can unbalance any mind unfortunate enough to come near it. Of course, our nubile youngsters travel straight to this bed of lunacy, and surprise, surprise, things go deadly wrong with bodies piling up, boobs popping out, and mischief and hijinks everywhere. Now there is only one thing left to decide. Are you man enough to watch this without going hysterically psycho? I don't remember it being specifically funny. It kind of sells itself as kind of like a comedy horror movie. I remember it having like comedic parts to it, or kind of a little bit, you know, but I wouldn't say it's kind of like Zombieland has, you know, more comedy humor, a better balance of it, I guess. I want to say this one fell more on the horror side, but there was some comedy to it. And it's another one that I would say, Hysterical Psycho, worth a watch for you. And the last one in my lap here is one that I got from Full Moon. And you'll see it's still in the package. It is Cannibal Women and the Avocado Jungle of Death. Because I get a lot of the Full Moon, the grab bags or whatever, or the mystery boxes and whatever, and they're usually good to have a couple movies in there. These women are serious about their taste in men. Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death, featuring Bill Maher in his first starring role, Shannon Tweed, Adrienne Barbeau. So it could be an interesting movie to watch someday, but I have not watched it, obviously, because it's still in the package. So, but that's going to be, you know, like I said, I bought a lot of movies, but I haven't watched a lot of movies, unfortunately. So, sorry, I haven't watched them all. But that was our chunk for today. I'll try to do these, you know, obviously, because my timer says that I've gone for 20 minutes, so I need to shut the fuck up, because this video is long enough. But there's still plenty of movies left over there. You can see I took out a very small chunk. I took out a chunk in the corner there, and there's still, see, there's movies behind the movies. So I have I have quite a few movies left to tell you about in my collection. If I can tell you anything about them, I will attempt to do so. And maybe I'll try to do a couple a day or something until Halloween or whatever. And then I can continue on with like my comedy movies or my TV series or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And what have you. But that is it for today. Hopefully that was somewhat entertaining, even though I haven't watched all of my movies. I can't tell you about them, sorry. That would make the video even longer, and so that's okay. It's okay if I skimp on a few. But anyway, that's for today, and I'll probably maybe do another one of these tomorrow if I think to. Or maybe later today. It was a good idea, Hobbs, to do this, because now it's like I actually like want to dig into my collection and, you know, find these things and like remember like, oh yeah, I have this movie. Oh yeah, I have this movie. That's kind of fun. But anyway, but that's it for part 1 of this series, and I'll either see you for part 2 or something else or nothing else. So I'll see you for what I see you.